Hello, this is Jeff of Tau Flare Mouse. Welcome to another episode of You Make It, We Mock It. Congratulations, you found this video and weren't unsubscribed from this channel. Now, if you're new to this channel, You Make It, We Mock It is where viewers submit supersonic projectile designs to us and we test them out and film with a high-speed camera. The designs come from all over the world and we've gotten a lot of them over the years. The projectiles initially have to survive over 15,000 Gs of acceleration, so they have to be built rather strong. On average, they travel through the air at about Mach 1.4, and while traveling at those speeds, they have to be stable in flight. So in some ways, You Make It, We Mock It is a lot like rocketry, and just like rocketry, there's always a chance of failure. But when they fly well, it sure is very satisfying and fun. Today's projectile is called the Worminator, and it can only come from the mind of Evan Perry from Texas. Over the years, we have tested over 30 of Evan's designs. It's a pretty simple shape, probably has the aerodynamics of a soup can, but it's made out of steel, out of a acme thread, or worm gear if you prefer. And we actually have two types. The one that on the left he sent over a year ago, and recently he sent the longer Magnum version. I paint them with white and black paint so that we can observe rotation in flight. Now the weight of the smaller version, type 1, is 36.7 grams, or about 1.3 ounces, or if you prefer, 568 grains-ish. Now the big boy version is even heavier. It's 44.7 grams, or about 1.58 ounces, or 691.4 grains. I checked the diameters of each projectile, and I did find one that was a little short of our target of 0.675 inches, but I can still make this work. Now the projectiles are subcaliber, which means they're smaller than the bore, which means we're going to be using a sabot. Now the sabots are actually quite thin at only about 30 thousandths of an inch or 3/4 of a millimeter. And trust me, you do not want a steel slug contacting the rifling of your steel barrel. And in case you couldn't tell, these are made out of spent shotgun shells. And the thicknesses vary slightly brand to brand. I usually use an FS12 gas seal in these tests. This is essentially a piston that prevents the high-pressure gases, often reaching over 12,000 psi, from leaking by, and the gas seal essentially just pushes the projectile down the barrel. In a previous test, this slug functioned pretty well, but it was very close to failure because the gas seal was very damaged. The lip seals were almost completely stripped off of it. For today's test, we'll be using a different gas seal called the X12X, another gas seal from Ballistic Products. The X12X is supposed to handle higher pressures, so we'll see how this works. On top of the X12X, we'll put these cork wads, and I want to thank Alexei Lavrov for generously sending a big bag of those to us. The cork wads will compress a little bit and provide a little bit of cushioning, but they'll also add to the gas sealing. The Worminator with these discarding sabots is placed on top of that, and everything is put inside the 12 gauge Boss hole. I just got these from Ballistic Products, and they're supposed to have a hot primer, whatever that means. And I put a nice little roll crimp on there for that touch and glow look. I use 30 grains of long shot for the little slugs and 35 for the big ones. Now it's up to me to come up with a load recipe for these submitted projectiles, and I can either be blamed for the failures or given credit for the success.
Welcome back, Tau Flater folks. OG and Jeff behind the camera out here with another Evan Perry creation. Evan from Texas has sent quite a few rounds into the channel, and he calls this one the Worminator. You've seen them already on Jeff's tabletop. They're made out of a little piece of a worm drive, little piece of bar in there. And we're going to try some short ones and some long ones out of a rifled barrel today. And our dummy down here, a lot of people have been saying we need to get one of those $5,000 gel targets with all the anatomy pieces inside to see what kind of damage things will do. Well, we did. It was a little bit cheaper, but Jeff found a cool little anatomy t-shirt, and you got to have a lot of guts to wear this t-shirt, right? So we're
Imagine going to the club with that on or something.
We're gonna try this. Yeah, wear this to the club. Show the ladies your soul. We're going to shoot these rounds out of this rifled barrel from, we're not right now at 19 yards.
Yeah, 19, 20 yards.
We're going to see what we can do. Let's try first to hit the heart, see what they do for accuracy and reliability, and like always,
let's hope my load is going to work, or that's half the battle.
I'd rather not talk about your load
Oh.
in battle or not. We've had a couple of failures recently, and although a couple of failures was actually a barbershop duet that I was in college, we've had a couple of failures, and we're hoping that these are another impressive round. Evan usually turns in some good work, so let's give it a try.
Okay, test number 1. I'm ready.
Here we go, right in the Cora zone, Jeff.
Okay.
Oh my, look at that hole.
I think you just plowed right through it.
Look at that hole.
Excellent
Perfectly
accuracy.
round hole. Oh my, look at that hole.
Let's see how that supersonic soup can flew. Here it comes. We got great spin, excellent stability, and incredible accuracy. And I might add that the dummy is wearing police issue body armor. The slug made it all the way through, hardly slowed it down, and we could see the slug spinning off into the berm.
Started out good. That thing had mild, I don't know, medium recoil, let's say. And I was aiming right here for his right aorta. And we punched a hole right in it. You can see it almost instantly.
And there's a Kevlar vest under there, and
There's a Kevlar vest, and that's what's all bulged up here. It's not that he had some augmentation done. But here's the thing. The clue we noticed from back there 20 yards away, whenever a target just wobbles and doesn't fall over, it's a good chance that the thing passed right through. Well, this is a brand new shirt we just put on this guy right before filming.
It even pulled some Kevlar through.
Yep. Slug passed right on through and out the back. And Jeff tells me on the high-speed camera that it stayed nice and stable even after.
Oh, it was a beautiful flight.
Beautiful flight.
Again, Evan should be proud. The guy's the mad genius of the post-apocalypse.
You know what is in this heart?
Oh no!
Heartworm!
Ah!
All right.
Hey Greg, you know what time it is?
Peanut butter jelly time.
It's time to get the lead out.
Oh my God.
Oh, is it getting
All
any
right,
better?
Jeff, let's go ahead and
Is
shoot the
it any
lead plate
funnier?
right there in the eye.
Okay, it's not any. It's still pretty bad. Okay, I've got everything ready, rolling. Whenever you're ready.
Here we go.
Nice. Okay, here comes shot number 2. Again, good stability, good spin. Just shot a little bit low. We'll blame Greg for that. But a very, very impressive impact on our lead plate. It's difficult to penetrate that thing. Hey, look at that. Here comes one of our cork wads flying at a very high speed.
I was examining this gigantic hole here, wondering how it was going to be fingered. I was aiming right here for the eyeball, hit it a little bit low. You can tell though that the slug actually impacted a little bit to the side, or at least it scooted that way when it's after impact. But look at that thing. That is deep.
I don't know why, other than maybe my bad powder load or your bad aim or
my trigger.
the wind or the sun in your eyes.
I didn't trim the fingernail on that finger.
Oh.
It almost made it through the back. It did not. Still.
Okay. Well, now remember we have the other type of slug, the heavier ones.
Yes.
We might have to take a second lead plate shot.
So let's go ahead and put this lead plate aside, Jeff, and we will shoot it shortly with a little bit longer ones.
That's if we don't do that, everyone's gonna be screaming, "Why didn't you shoot it with the big ones?"
Of course, and put down a tarp and strap it down. And
yeah, if you had sandbags behind it, it would have gone through. Okay, we got the bathroom trash can of death here. I don't know. Is there a better name for it? Wow.
Oh, look at that geyser of water.
Wow. Impressive. Wow. The little trash can is a fun little target, demonstrating hydrostatic pressure. It has 2 gallons of water in it, which is about 16 pounds, or over 7 kilograms of weight. The high-speed projectile acts like a hydraulic piston, pushing the water in all directions and causing effects just like that.
So we We hit a little bit right where I was aiming.
Okay, and you're using iron sights too.
Using iron sights. This could be my trigger pull. Probably is my trigger pull because these rounds are flying nice and steady.
Yeah, they are rock steady.
This thing sent, you guys couldn't see it on camera, but it sent about a 30-foot geyser of water into the air. Here's the cool thing. Jeff had already taped up these previous holes. The hydrostatic shock in there blew the tape right out both sides.
Yeah,
Kind of looks like we hit it again. And also it had little rubber feet on the bottom. Blew those rubber feet right off.
Okay, still 20 yards, what is that, 18.2 meters? For the people that were never taught the fine imperial system.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
You're gonna light a fire.
Never have I seen so many people defend not knowing something, right? Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Wow!
Woo.
Wow!
Woo.
Another good example of hydrostatic shock is shooting a watermelon. Since it's mostly water, it behaved much like our ballistic trash can. Now with luck, we'll have more targets growing in the future as we distribute those seeds all over the place.
Standard.
Why are the peas blue?
Yeah, they're grayish
Is it my
blue.
color correct?
Actually, we sent these to kids in Africa. They mailed them back. So we're going to put them on the Russian ballistic gelatin and see if we can't hit them.
Okay.
I'm going to set them up tall instead of on
Yeah, because some have gotten a little high. Some, we're just playing it safe here.
Yeah, some of my slugs tend to have gotten a little bit low, so
That comes with age, though.
That's true. It does sag after a while, low T.
Oh! Wow! You can see it skipping down the road.
Yeah. Aubergine seeds went everywhere.
Well, that's not slow motion. Let's see what it looks like in real slow motion. Now, the target's a lot smaller now, but Greg was feeling pretty confident that he could hit that thing, and he sure did. So far, the Worminators are really proven to be a fantastic flying projectile. And cans of peas make a very dynamic target. Well, let's see what's left of that can.
All right, so we were aiming at the center. We seemed to hit pretty close to the center. The hydrostatic shock actually blew the bottom ring and cap off of this can. And this is all we found.
That's a great new target. I bet next week everybody will be shooting cans of peas.
We've been shooting cans of old-timey fruit and vegetables for years and years.
That's true. I was impressed with the tomato sauce or whatever.
They do blast out pretty
But this
good.
was even, I don't know, it might be more impressive. Let us know in the comment section.
They're aubergine seeds, and think how many aubergines we're going to have growing out here on this ditch page in the spring.
Yeah. Okay, the little ones worked great.
Yeah, we tried 5 of the shorter ones, and then now we're going to try, these are what, you say about a 1/4 inch longer?
Yeah, they're a little bit longer.
Same piece of bar stock inside. They're still the Worminator, but this is the Worminator 2.0.
Yeah, it's the heavy Worminator.
So extra length and extra weight change anything?
Yeah, extra powder load. This is like a completely new test. We're starting from scratch again.
Oh, it's pretty much brand new. Hi, I'm glad to meet you. My name's Greg. All right, well, the only way we can tell is to shoot them through the rifled barrel again. We put the lead plate down range, and I'm going to aim at that little circle with the eye in the center, and that way we can tell if it went off target.
That's not 2 lead plate in one video. People are getting we're trying to make up for the times we forgot to shoot it last.
Well, this way you don't have to do another lead plate for 6 months.
Nice.
Well, the heavier slug and longer seem to perform quite well. Now, the velocity of all these slugs should be around 1,400 feet per second, in case you were wondering.
So
Never seen that kind of damage before.
No. Burrowed itself in, kind of like its little brother. However, look at this. Impact sent this thing flying back at us towards us about 10 yards. It used to be right in there. Clearly, Jeff used cheap Chinesium to make this lead plate.
Okay, flip it over to it. Yeah, bulged it out about the same as the other one.
Tried to make it out. That's big brother, that's little brother. So not a lot of difference there. They both hit. Look at the angles that they both hit at.
But they hit straight, but then they turned it once they hit. But they did hit nose first.
It's nutty.
That's great. So the heavier ones seem to be Similar points of impact as the shorter one, so we were worried that it was going to completely change the point of impact, but it seems pretty
I
close.
think we're doing good, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm confident enough we can hit that little can of exploding powder.
Okay. I don't know what color that is. That is a blast cloud powder target. Very small, smaller than the can of peas. Okay, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Here we go.
You got it. Woo! Pink!
Light red.
You got it.
So far, the Type 2 heavy projectiles are going a little low and a little to the left. But Greg is using iron sights, and that front sight post is actually covering up the target quite a bit. So it's still a pretty good shot, and a hit's a hit. Now bear in mind, this is only the second shot using this different slug, and before we start adjusting the point of aim, let's take one more shot and verify that's where the slugs are actually going.
Okay, you got your Walmart sander there that would have lasted about 6 months before it broke.
I think it was 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Little mouse sander.
So this is a little bit personal to Greg.
That's right. This one shit the bed on me when I need it the most.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm rolling.
Here we go.
Well, once again, the slug went a little low and a little bit to the left. It's safe to say, based on that 3-shot group, which we basically did, that we need to start adjusting the point of aim. And one of these days, Greg is going to learn that you don't buy power tools at Walmart. You at least go to Harbor Freight and get a Chicago Electric sander.
Okay, 51 yards actually, right?
Oh, wait, now I'm going to be off.
You calculated
Yeah.
for 50 yards. Okay, I don't know. This is a long range for an experimental slug like this, but
Yep.
I'm hoping it'll make a cool shockwave along the ground at the very least.
All right, at the least.
Okay, I'm ready. Take your time.
For the least. Here we go.
Wow, you got it.
You hear that ding?
Yeah, that was a thump. Wow, you got it.
At 51 yards, the Worminator is still flying at a supersonic speed and dragging a massive shockwave across the ground. And if you look closely, the shockwave actually reflects off the plate and bounces back towards us. Now, it's hard to explain what's going on here, but at first I thought it was the sound waves reflecting back and causing the shockwave, but we don't see the sound waves going in the other direction. Now, regardless, it was a very good shot. Greg did adjust his aim. He was just a little bit high, but still a very impressive shot from 51 yards.
I am impressed. Iron sights,
No one's more shocked than this guy.
experimental
Iron sights.
post-apocalyptic slug from Texas.
This thing is about 10 inches by 10 inches square, 50 yards away. What is that, 47.8 meters?
Yeah, for people that haven't learned
Oh boy,
the fine imperial system.
starting a British fire.
Yeah.
This thing flew evidently completely level, stable, because it burrowed itself in there. Look at that.
Look at it. It actually mushroomed.
Yeah.
Did it split?
Didn't split, but there's a little bit of, yeah, it did mushroom a little bit. It's a little wider at the impact
Expanded.
spot.
I didn't expect that. I thought that was.
Nothing up
Oh,
to
there's
that
a bulge there.
slightest bulge. And this aluminum plate has stood up to a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
Nothing can make it through this aluminum plate. Very few things make a good,
Yeah, armor piercing round will go through it.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Aluminum piercing round.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's actually one of the weirder impacts we've ever recovered.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I was thinking that, man, we only have one to test for the long range, and we blow that, then.
Well, I'm your guy to screw things up, so it's because of the worm drive, right? It's kind of automatically rifled, so that must mean that it
I
spins
can't
in the air.
imagine that would have much effect on the spin at all. In the very few milliseconds it's actually in flight to cause that much mass to start spinning, or what, you got to mechanically spin it right out of the barrel though.
I didn't tell Jeff. I kind of expected these were going to drop a little bit because they're heavy, so I actually held on the top edge.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't hit dead center, but I like where
You would have if you, well.
It was. I don't know. It was pretty dang close to point of aim, point of impact.
I mean, if we had 20 more of these to shoot, you could figure that out. But when you only have a handful, you gotta.
The bead sight that I'm using on that rifled barrel is about this big on this plate. There's really no picking what part you're going to shoot. I just kind of put it in here and lifted it towards the edge, and kabing, we hit it. I
was impressed, and it sounded great too.
All right, ballistic gel, and then let's blow this popsicle
Yeah,
stand.
it's getting warm.
I'm ready.
Ow.
Jeez,
Everything over.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Oh, this time it is?
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, I gotta switch my watch.
You're on East Coast peanut butter jelly time.
Well, glad you made it this far through the video. Our Worminator slug made it all the way through our ballistic gel, and it was still spinning at the end there. The only thing that stopped it was a Kevlar vest with a brick behind it. Another fantastic slug from Evan Perry. I just want to remind you to rate the video, thumb it up or thumb it down. I don't want to tell you what to do, just remind you.
Okay, we had shot that previous with the Welsh rabbit slug.
Sure.
That's not the name of it, but
So we made a big wound cavity in there before. This one made a gigantic temporary wound cavity.
yeah.
As we predicted, nobody thought it was going to stop in there because it's basically one heavy non-expanding projectile, but it did fly through, hit the vest hard enough to shatter our brick that was behind the vest. That's some blunt force trauma.
Yeah, there's still a lot of energy. It brought that to a stop. It was still kind of spinning in the air. Even after it stopped,
Well,
it
you
was
know
still
why
rotating.
it was spinning is because of its rifling.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I found this in the sand right here about 4 or 5 feet behind the table, so it didn't go too far. It hovered there and dropped on the ground.
Well, it's definitely a good day today. I really had fun because they were accurate. We were hitting stuff with it.
Yeah,
No,
it's always nice to hit
it
stuff.
looked like my powder loads were pretty close.
Oh,
they're
it's
never
all me.
perfect, but good enough, you know.
Really, it's not even the slug, the shooter, or anything. It's all about the powder loads and the wads you used. So
It's part of the equation,
Evan's
you know.
contribution.
Yeah, well, it takes it takes Evan to create it. It takes me to come up with a crazy powder load for these things or figure out how to load them.
You guys are magicians, ballistic magicians.
And then you got to have someone who can shoot.
Not really,
Oh,
as we've seen over the years. Anyway, we were pleasantly surprised, Evan. These were fun to shoot. It's been a while since we had a nice accurate round that was fun to hit tiny little targets with, and we were.
well, was it the Steel Tornado?
Yeah.
Those did great.
But we were shocked on a couple of different ones. I was actually kind of surprised we hit the peas. I was surprised we hit the can of exploding pink stuff, and nobody was more shocked that we hit that steel or that aluminum block out there at 100 or 50 yards.
Yeah,
So,
I was just hoping to have a cool shockwave travel across the ground.
yeah,
you know?
that's all we want is a shot. Jesus.
They may not hit, but look at that shockwave,
We could have
folks.
just come out here with some regular slugs and fired them into the dirt. Then would have saved Evan
Yeah.
so much work. Well, we thank you guys for stopping
Hey,
by. What?
Are you telling people that you're about your trip?
Sure, yeah.
Tell
I'm
them.
going to be, by the time you guys see this video, it will be the weekend. I will be in Edinburgh, Scotland, and then Mrs. OG and I are driving all around Scotland and down through England. We are actually already kind of booked up, but we're meeting 6 or 8, I think there's 6 or 8 Tailflater folks, Tailflater crew over there who we've made contact with all over Scotland and England. We're going to meet up with some people, sit down and have a cold one and shake some hands and hand out some patches and cool stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we're coming to you guys. We don't expect you to come over here.
The OG World Tour.
That's right. It is a world tour. I'm gonna have T-shirts and stuff. Grow out my hair and get some girls in the backstage. All right, enough of that crap.
Let's get out of here. I
We
gotta
hope
get
you guys
home.
liked this. It was fun for us to shoot, and
Yeah, if you can hit the like button on the way out, we appreciate that as always.
yeah, if you
Got
don't
any
like it,
questions or criticisms or whatever, you
definitely
know?
leave your comments down below. We read them all. We're one of the few channels that has 1.4 million viewers, and we read every single comment. So whether we like your comment or not, or pass it by.
Some people just have no self-control. The stuff they say is like,
Jeff, welcome
how
to the
old are
internet.
you? Like 10?
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah.
Who thought they would invent a place where every idiot in the world could get together with every other idiot in the world? Here it is, YouTube.
Yep.
Right here on YouTube Island. Well, thanks for stopping by. If you have extra time and you're super bored, swing by OG's Danger Show, because also by the time you see this video, I'm going to have a new night vision scope video out, And it was another piece of impressive kit. I was making some crazy hits in the pitch black darkness. So check it out.
Oh, right.
Shameless plug. All right, thank you guys, and we will see you on the next video.
Ouch.